A deadly crash involving a CAT Metro bus earlier today. We'll have the latest on the investigation from DPS ahead.
Plus, President Trump arrived in the UK for a rare second-term visit. How some of the controversy from back here at home followed him overseas.
And rain chances expected to pick up as we get to the beginning of next week. I'm going to let you know why coming up in your first warning weather.
In-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News at Noon.
Soon, local leaders will be gathering in the Rollingwood neighborhood to talk about how people in this area were notified about a shooting involving an Austin police officer and suspect Brandon Thompson near Zilker Park last week. This as we're learning the woman who was shot in the head during this incident has now died.
Austin police confirmed the family of Key Smith says she has now been taken off life support. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Will Dupree.
I'm Avery Travis. Police are sharing more details about an all-clear message that was issued in error during the shooting.
Police say a dispatcher starting their shift called a patrol supervisor on scene to ask if the shelter in place had been lifted, and that supervisor could not verify. Before the dispatcher received official confirmation on whether Brandon Thompson, the suspect in this case, was shot, the erroneous alert went out. The emergency communication system was also undergoing scheduled maintenance at the time, so the communications staff were not in the same building and could not communicate as normal with each other. Austin City Council member Ryan Alter says he met yesterday with some concerned elementary school parents.
You know, there were a lot of feelings, a lot of raw emotion that is very justified, and you know, a lot of questions out of that. First and foremost, you know, additional clarity on just what happened, what went wrong, why was this individual on the loose, and yet they were being told that it was safe to go to school.
Another meeting is set to happen next week with both parents and law enforcement. One person has died and several others got hurt after a pickup truck crashed into a CAT Metro bus today. The Texas Department of Public Safety reported that wreck happened at about 7:45 this morning near Pierce Lane and Ross Road in Southeast Austin. DPS said the truck's driver died while 3 adults and 2 children aboard the bus had to go to the hospital for minor injuries. DPS said its early investigation indicates the Silverado truck traveled on the wrong side of the road when it hit the bus head-on. We did also reach out to CAT Metro today for a statement, but so far we have not heard anything back just yet. You can also find the latest about this crash on our website, KXAN.com.
First warning weather.
Turning now, we want to take you out live to Bastrop, where we are seeing just a few clouds in that blue sky where it appears entering 90-degree temperature territory here.
A hot afternoon ahead, so let's get the latest with meteorologist Freddie Vela.
Yeah, you know, it's going to continue to be sunny outside no matter where you go. That live look one more time out of our Allied Medical Emergency Room camera in Bastrop. Just a couple of clouds up in the sky. I don't see us getting very much rainfall in the eastern counties right now, and if things hold the way they are, we may not get any whatsoever, which is why we gave it less than a 10% chance of seeing any rainfall for today. Austin now back up to 90 degrees, San Marcos 89 degrees, Fredericksburg 83, Georgetown 89, and Bastrop at 87. It looks like we're up about 3 to 4 degrees in just the 1 hour. The sunshine just beaming down brightly for everyone today as we look ahead to your after-school activities. If your little ones are getting dropped off at regular time, we're looking at temperatures there about 95 degrees for the early evening. 90 degrees if they're sticking around for band or football or for whatever else it may be. Speaking of football, this Saturday, a big game, of course, at 7 p.m. Texas taking on Sam Houston State University. Kickoff will be at around 90 degrees for the halftime 85. And this is going to be the one day over the weekend that we expect for things to remain very constant. Sunday, though, Sunday night, we could see a small chance of rainfall. So coming up, we'll be talking about little pockets of showers here and there over the next couple of days. The sunglasses is going to be a big must over the next few days, and the weekend rain chances, they're changing just a tad. I'll tell you why we expect for the rainfall more on Sunday night more than Saturday. That's coming up in your first warning weather.
Freddie, thanks so much. We have 2 I-35 traffic alerts to pass along that could help people avoid getting stuck in traffic or at least hopefully. Crews from the Texas Department of Transportation are closing the State Highway 29 bridge over the interstate in Georgetown tonight through Friday from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. the next day. Now, this is the bridge that a truck crashed into earlier this month and damaged some of the interior beams. TxDOT is also closing the main southbound lanes of I-35 in that area during those overnight hours. The southbound I-35 entrance ramp just south of Williams Drive will also close.
Further down the interstate, the southbound lanes in this area of I-35 will be reduced to one lane. This is between East Avenue and East Old Torf Street. This will happen tonight and Thursday night as well. It'll start at 9 p.m. and last until 5 in the morning. TxDOT says people should expect several entrance and exit ramps in the area to be off limits as well. So make sure you take note of that. The closures are part of the I-35 Capital Express Central project.
Today, the Federal Reserve is expected to lower interest rates by as much as a quarter point as the board meets with ongoing tension involving President Trump.
Today's meeting will include a new board member appointed by the president and a board member the president is actively trying to fire. Earlier this year, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said the economy and the job market are on solid ground. Since then, new numbers, including job creation data that fell far below expectations last month, are calling into question Powell's confidence.
Today, the voting members will include Lisa Cook, whom President Trump is trying to fire. Courts blocked the president's attempts to oust her, though. The newly confirmed board member, Stephen Moran, will also vote today. President Trump appointed him, and then the Senate confirmed him yesterday with unusual speed.
He'll have a big influence on this on Too-Late getting his rates down, I guess. Who knows? You never know with Too-Late, but he's done a lousy job. The rate should be much lower, much lower.
The Federal Reserve Board, despite what this president says, is independent. They will make a decision that governs the monetary policies of the country. My expectation is that they will follow the data and make the best decision.
We should know what the Fed decides to do a little later this afternoon.
Today, King Charles and Queen Camilla greeted President Trump when he arrived for a rare second-term visit to the United Kingdom.
However, the president is being followed by some of the controversy he faces back here at home. NBC's Peter Alexander has more.
This morning, a royal welcome. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump arriving at Windsor Castle to be formally feted by King Charles and Queen Camilla. Their state visit the first by an American president since Charles assumed the throne.
He's been a friend of mine for a long time, and everybody respects him, and they love him.
President Trump, who will meet with Prime Minister Keir Starmer tomorrow, is also expected to focus on foreign policy during this trip, with Starmer facing pressure to push the president to crack down on Russia's Vladimir Putin amid his years-long war in Ukraine, and to navigate the Gaza conflict as Israel launches a controversial new offensive, which the UK and European allies widely oppose. The president's expected to formalize a U.S.-UK agreement on technology and is also likely to talk trade.
We made a deal, and it's a great deal, and I'm into helping them. Our country is doing very well.
6 years after he was first honored by Queen Elizabeth, the president will see plenty of the king here, but little of the British people.
Trump!
His entire visit on private grounds, an open carriage ride inside the castle's gates. President Trump putting an ocean between himself and deep political divisions at home, but unable to escape one of the biggest domestic controversies. Protesters here overnight projecting a photo of President Trump alongside convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein on the walls of Windsor. Police arresting 4 people in connection with that stunt. To secure this presidential visit, a massive national policing operation. But before the president even arrived in the UK, a rare encounter in the skies, a Spirit Airlines jet coming too close to comfort to Air Force One, rebuked by air traffic control.
Pay attention, Spirit 1300, turn 20 degrees right. I'll keep an eye out for him, he's white and blue. Pay attention, get off the iPad.
And that was NBC's Peter Alexander reporting. Central Texas flood victims are getting a big donation today to help them with flood relief after the deadly July floods. The country music star behind the donation.
Plus, we'll speak with a doctor on the concerning rise of prostate cancer and what you can do to protect yourself from the disease. unfortunate health trend is emerging. More people are being diagnosed again with prostate cancer after years of decline.
The latest report from the American Cancer Society shows the diagnosis rates went up 3 percentage points during 2014 through 2021. And what's more alarming is the largest increase came from advanced stage diagnoses. Since we are in Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, we thought it would be helpful to have a conversation today with our guest. Dr. Monica Sridhar is a urologist at Baylor Scott & White Health. Dr. Sridhar, thanks so much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
So does your own experience reflect what this report found and some of the information we just shared a moment ago? Are you seeing more instances of people getting diagnosed with prostate cancer?
Definitely. And I think that's probably very reflective of a shift in paradigm, I think around 2018, where PSA screening started to become more emphasized at that time, more shared decision making. And hence we're starting to see this higher diagnosis of prostate cancer.
Some of the numbers show advanced stage cases are on the rise in being diagnosed. Why do you think that may be?
Yeah, good question. I think it's multifactorial. The first one being what I just mentioned about that increased rate of PSA screening, which is a blood draw that we do for prostate cancer screening. Now, another factor I feel is that there is a discrepancy or disparities in access to good health care, then generally just an aging population.
While we were preparing for this interview, I found some information that prostate cancer is the most common cancer diagnosis for men here in the U.S. So what would you like them to know about early detection and prevention?
So definitely talk with your primary care doctor, or if you have a urologist, for these men to have that conversation about PSA screening, which is our best detection tool or screening tool we have thus far. But for high-risk men, this includes Black men, family history of prostate cancer, any family history of genetic mutations, specifically BRCA mutations that could increase your risk for prostate cancer. We're talking about possibly even starting that PSA screening earlier. Our usual age group is around 55, but for these high-risk men, starting at around 45 years of age.
Now, the report we mentioned also showed that deaths from prostate cancer have slowed, excuse me, significantly. I'll repeat that, deaths from prostate cancer have slowed significantly. So what are maybe some of the things behind that may be a positive here in that report? Less people dying from this disease. Are there any innovations that you think helped contribute to that report?
Yeah, innovations when first it comes to detection tools, besides the PSA screening, we also have MRI scans for the prostate, which can really visually show us any significant prostate cancer and allows us as urologists to do targeted biopsies to really pinpoint aggressive disease. And when it comes to treatment, we are still doing active surveillance for low-risk disease, but we have surgery, and nowadays surgeries are all done robotically to remove the prostate. And even radiation treatment is, less scatter, less side effects, so that has advanced as well. And when it comes to advanced stage disease, better immunotherapy, targeted therapy, hormone therapy, this has actually helped increase the survival rate for patients with advanced disease as well.
Well, Dr. Monica Sridhar, we appreciate you sharing and touching on all these bases for us, for our viewers at home. Thanks again for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we want to send it now over to meteorologist Freddie Bella for an update on our Wednesday forecast.
Thank you very much. We take a look now at current temperatures. 90 degrees in Austin, 89 in Bastrop, 83 in Blanco, still in the 84 degrees in Fredericksburg. Sunny skies across central Texas right now. Still looking beautiful. There's a few clouds that have been starting to peak up just a bit more in Lampasas and Burnett and San Saba, but overall, the sunny skies are going to continue to remain. I'll play this out throughout the rest of the day today. A spotty shower here, a spotty shower there. That's possible as we get into the afternoon. Thursday, this model actually cooks up just a bit more of some of that rainfall. I don't think we're going to see this much, but we will see very similar to what we saw yesterday and today, where you may get one or two that may swing right by very quickly and then move their way on out. Again, it's going to be a much drier couple of days. Temperatures for today, 95 degrees in Austin, 94 in Georgetown, 94 expected in Giddings, 89 degrees in Fredericksburg, and 89 in Mason. Your temperature at 95 may bump up just a degree or two, but overall I expect it will remain at least within the mid-90s, slowly getting closer to around 97, 98 as a possibility. Now your weather pattern, not really changing too much. The only thing is we have a low that's going to swing by and then a change in the upper pattern, and that's going to allow for some showers to start to pick up one more time, especially Monday into Tuesday. And this is pushed back just a couple of days as we've gone along the week. We've been able to see the high pressure just really taking hold of the area that hasn't allowed for that trough to really start to push down. And once it does, getting into the weekend, into the beginning of the week, next week, we could see rain chances pick back up. So again, from now until then, we're looking at hot and dry. And if you're planning on maybe heading out to a football game for tomorrow, including Liberty Hill versus Connolly, you're looking at temperatures at around 93 for kickoff. By the halftime, 89 degrees, and for the fourth quarter, around 86 degrees. So this is what it looks like on a wider scale with the state of Texas. You can see Friday, dry, Saturday, dry, Sunday. That's where you start to see some showers creeping into the rest of the state of Texas. You may get a passing shower or two on Sunday night going into Monday morning. That's that small change I was talking about earlier. Monday, a better chance of rainfall, and Tuesday, an even better chance of seeing some rain that'll stick around with us. Remember, Monday, the first day of fall, and we could start to see some of that rainfall coming through. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 95 over Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll keep that 10% chance of rain in there for today and tomorrow, but we'll keep them pretty low. By Friday, 95. By Saturday for the game, kickoff is at 7, and we're still looking at about 96 degrees. It's going to be hot outside. That'll continue through Sunday, and it won't be until Sunday night into Monday that we start to see rain chances picking up Monday into Tuesday.
Freddie, thank you. Kyle, water rates are going to rise soon, meaning people there will be paying more. What the city says about what the money will be used for ahead.
And President Trump is announcing that Republicans will hold a convention before next year's midterm elections. The significance of that after this. Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody, and thanks again for being with us here this afternoon. We're looking live from Williamson County, our Santa Rita Ranch camera there in Liberty Hill. A few little clouds trickling in to the skies this afternoon. An update from meteorologist Freddie Vella about what to expect the rest of the day coming up in just a few moments. President Trump is announcing that Republicans will stage a midterm convention next year. In a social media post yesterday, the president said the convention will, quote, show the great things we have done since the presidential election of 2024. This is video of last year's GOP convention. Now, the post did not say when the convention will take place or where it will be held. Democrats, meanwhile, are reportedly also considering a midterm convention at this time. Both of the political parties traditionally hold their conventions every 4 years to nominate a presidential candidate. People who are living in Kyle are going to pay more for water. The city passed a 20% increase for both water and wastewater rates within its city limits.
It also increased rates for those living in what are called extraterritorial jurisdictions, or ETJs, by 77%. So why the difference? The city says city residents already saw an increase this year. They say those in ETJs did not. Additionally, the city found that those living outside of the city limits use around 15% more water, especially during peak times. So they say additional infrastructure is necessary.
My last month's water bill was $370. They're proposing a 77% increase for 2026, which would raise my bill at current usage to $655.
Yes, quite the increase there. Now, Kyle says the updated rates will both support critical infrastructure investments, improve water quality, and ensure the long-term stability, they say, of Kyle's water and wastewater systems.
Going in depth, in early May, the Carrizo-Wilcox Aquifer delivered its first allotment of water to the city via a new pipeline. Alliance Water constructed that 20-mile pipeline, bringing groundwater from the aquifer. The new water source brings in 1.73 million gallons per day, increasing the city's water capacity by 26%. The city says by the year 2027, the number will increase to 3 million gallons of water, each day. Coming up, a Texas State college student is no longer enrolled there after a moment captured on camera about his reaction to the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. What that university's president had to say about this.
Plus, the FBI director back on Capitol Hill for another hearing with lawmakers. We'll break down the fiery exchange from yesterday and what new questions he could face today.
In-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News at Noon.
A Texas music legend is giving out a massive donation to people impacted by the deadly flooding in Texas in July.
Today, some of those people got a big boost to the recovery process from country music artist George Strait. Governor Abbott joined Strait as well as leaders of the Texas Division of Emergency Management to hand out some of the money raised by the singer during a massive concert and benefit dinner recently. Those events ended up raising more than $6 million.
Now, just last month, Strait donated some of those funds by giving $25,000 checks to more than 6 families. Before handing out the next round of checks, Governor Greg Abbott today addressed the challenges survivors are facing in the wake of this disaster.
We know you've been challenged in extraordinary ways. We want to be able to be a part of the process, not just now, but in an ongoing way to help you respond to those challenges. And there's different ways we can do that. One is to provide you a check, which we know you desperately need. Another is to help you try to coordinate the responses to work with you in the rebuilding process along the way.
If you would like to help out with the recovery efforts, we have some ways for you to pitch in or even donate. You can find that on KXAN.com. We'll also note Whataburger is giving back to those impacted by the floods. Yesterday, the company announced a $1.7 million donation from its Cups That Care fundraiser. They said they will be donating to $350,000 to Children's Bereavement Center, Team Rubicon, Gary Sinise Foundation, and Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. They're also giving $50,000 to the San Antonio Botanical Garden, San Angelo Relief Foundation, then $25,000 to the Band Together Texas Foundation, Applause for the Cause, and the Hill Country Community Foundation.
First warning weather.
All right, we'll take you out live from our tower camera. Always a gorgeous view looking out over the hills here. So green.
Yeah, and as our show has progressed in the sky there, we've seen clouds just continue to move into our area and pop up in different parts of central Texas. So let's get a look at the radar with meteorologist Freddie Vela.
Thanks. You know, really quickly before we move on, I know right now you were talking about the donations that they were doing.
Yes.
One of the names that you mentioned was the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Yeah.
Gary Sinise actually, when my dad was in the hospital in San Antonio, at the Veterans Hospital there, Gary Sinise put on a free concert for everyone who was in the hospital to go out and perform, and so that's what a lot of that money goes to.
Wow.
Incredible.
Well, thank you for sharing for that.
Yeah, it was really cool to check out and really meant a lot to us, especially during a difficult time. But it's not difficult outside right now. In fact, pretty sunny. This is what we've been looking at over the past couple of days. A few clouds that have built up in San Saba, Lampasas, Burnett, down to Williamson, and into Bastrop as well. That live look one more time out of our 360 Cam Westlake, sponsored by Lorenz and Lorenz. Looking beautiful there. A bit more cloud coverage, as Will and Avery was just mentioning right now, with temperatures at 90 degrees in Austin, 89 in San Marcos, 84 in Fredericksburg, 89 degrees in Georgetown, and 90 degrees in Bastrop. Rain chances, though, do pick up. We just have to wait a little longer. Originally, we were forecasting Friday into Saturday, Saturday and Sunday, but as time has gone on, we've been able to see that high pressure not moving very much, that trough not pushing down far enough, and that has allowed for the rain chances to push back a bit more to Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And in fact, Monday, a very important day, that is the first day of fall. Fall actually begins on Monday at 1:19 in the afternoon. 94 degrees is expected, and there's that rain chance that I was mentioning just a little while ago. So coming up, we're going to be talking about just a couple little spotty showers that we could see in the afternoon today and tomorrow. Sunglasses, going to be a big must here. Weekend rain chances, I showed you what's going to happen, so I'll show you a couple different models to show you how much rainfall we could actually get. And an update on the tropics. We got some new numbers in now now of what's happening and an update with the newest tropical storm.
Freddie, thank you. The president of Texas State says a student is no longer with the university after comments captured in a video Governor Greg Abbott described as mocking the death of Charlie Kirk during a memorial event this week. Last night, Texas State President Kelly Damphus posted this statement saying, quote, "I will not tolerate behavior that mocks, trivializes, or promotes violence on our campuses. It is antithetical to our Texas state values." Now, this update comes as the Texas Education Agency has said it's looking into about 180 complaints of public school employees posting comments about Kirk's death.
Prosecutors in Utah say they will seek the death penalty against the man accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk. Yesterday, Tyler Robinson appeared in court virtually from jail. He only spoke when he was asked to state his name. Prosecutors revealed new evidence as well, including what they say is a text message exchange between the suspect and his roommate following the attack. They also say he left a note before Kirk was shot.
Quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Roommate, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson, I'm sorry.
Prosecutors also say the suspect's DNA was found on the trigger of the rifle and the ammunition. Robinson officially faces 7 charges, including aggravated murder. A second Utah man is also facing charges in the Kirk investigation. George Zinn is the first person police took into custody after they say he yelled at the scene that he shot Kirk. Police also say that Zinn later told them he was hindering their immediate response to the shooting and buying time for the real shooter to get away. While in custody, police say they also found inappropriate pictures of underage children on Zinn's phone.
FBI Director Kash Patel is back on Capitol Hill today after a fiery hearing in the U.S. Senate on Tuesday.
Democrats say Patel has made the FBI political, while Republicans are praising his work so far. Washington correspondent Vinay Simlot breaks down what happened during the hearing.
FBI Director Kash Patel went back and forth with Senate Democrats over 3 main issues: the Epstein files, over concerns that the FBI had become political, and about the Charlie Kirk assassination investigation.
The defendant, Tyler James Robinson.
For the first time, the person accused of assassinating conservative activist Charlie Kirk appeared in a Utah courtroom on Tuesday, facing murder charges and the death penalty. On Capitol Hill, Republicans praised the work of Kash Patel's FBI.
I want to start by just congratulating you and the FBI agents.
But Democrats asked about Patel's handling of the case and the tweets he sent during the manhunt.
So that was a mistake.
I don't see it as a mistake.
Hours after the shooting at 6:21 on September 10th, Patel tweeted, "The subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody." 90 minutes later, correcting his tweet, "The subject in custody has been released after an interrogation."
If you put out a statement that says we've got our man, and in fact it turns out that you didn't have your man, that's not a mistake?
But that's not what I said.
Patel faced questions from Democrats and Republicans about the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files.
We will release everything we are legally permitted to do so.
Leading to this clash with Senator Adam Schiff, a common opponent for the Trump administration.
You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution.
We expect another major hearing in the Senate today. The fired CDC Director Susan Menarez will testify before a Senate committee. She was fired by the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and 4 other CDC officials resigned because of her firing. In Washington, I'm Vinay Simlot. Back to you.
Back here in Austin, the Austin Fire Department is estimating this fire at the Domain caused $4.5 million in damage. The fire started in an apartment yesterday afternoon. A firefighter hurt their hand and was able to, though, come back and return to help put the fire out. AFD says a security guard first noticed the smoke and called for help. The fire, they say, came from near the Louis Vuitton store. They had to call in additional firefighters because it was difficult to get to. It ended up impacting 28 apartments and multiple businesses. AFD now says an electrical short in the wall caused the fire. A shakeup is coming to how Austin helps people experiencing homelessness.
At the end of the month, the Homeless Strategy Office will cut ties with a nonprofit that's been running 2 of the city's shelters. The office says that 5 Urban Alchemy staff members were misrepresenting reports. The director says those employees were fired, the records were fixed, and there was no financial impact.
When a record is incorrect or it's incorrectly altered, it makes it more challenging for us to know whether or not a client truly is successfully housed or not and where they're at in their journey. It could make outcomes look better than what they are or make a shelter look more efficient than what it actually is.
Urban Alchemy has operated the Austin Resource Center for the Homeless and the 8th Street Women's Shelter in downtown Austin. Next month, the Homeless Strategy Office will ask the Austin City Council to approve an emergency contract with another group called Endeavors. Urban Alchemy, though, will continue its operations until that emergency contract is approved.
Coming up, officers in Florida are searching for a peculiar thief. We'll tell you where this robbery took place ahead.
And police have captured the man accused of stealing unreleased music from Beyonce. The latest in that investigation after the break.
We're taking a live look outside from on top of our KXAN studios from West Campus, looking at downtown Austin. A really pretty view as some cloud cover rolls in there. Still lots of sunshine and 90-degree temperatures. Freddie is going to have more on that in your full forecast in just a bit.
But first, police are investigating after a masked man robbed a restaurant at Disney Springs. That's the shopping area at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. Michelle Meredith reports.
Who or what does this look like with the menacing, googly-looking eyes? The creature from the Black Lagoon?
Loch Ness Monster coming out of a swamp.
No, he's the suspect in a robbery that happened around midnight Monday at Disney Springs. The restaurant that got hit, the Paddlefish, looks like a big Mississippi River-style paddle boat. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the suspect, complete with swimming goggles, a mask, cap, gloves, and who looks like he's about to spray paint the surveillance camera, made his way into the manager's office while they were depositing cash into the safe, pushed 2 employees into the corner of the office, told them to go down, put them on their knees, and demanded they close their eyes. Unfortunately, the 2 employees were not hurt, and the report indicates that the rest of the crew was upstairs cleaning.
Just ridiculous. I mean, how are you going to find this dude?
Visitors and locals we talked to near Disney Springs processed it all with different levels of astoundment.
I think this world is sick lately.
I said, that's insane. What is this world coming to?
The suspect, whom witnesses say was covered from head to toe, is described as a man about 5'10" with a slim build. And as an added touch on his feet, he was wearing socks, just socks, and no shoes.
Michelle Meredith with a story that just got crazier and crazier as it went along there. Thanks so much for that. A man is now in custody connected to the theft of unreleased Beyonce music. Police arrested this man, Kelvin Evans. He's being accused of entering an automobile or other motor vehicle with intent to commit a felony. You remember we told you about this incident a while back. It happened in a parking deck in Georgia in July, just 2 days before her Cowboy Carter show. Police say they were able to tie a vehicle to the scene of that incident. Evans is related to that car's owner.
Very interesting for sure. And what gets me is that it wasn't tied seemingly to him maybe leaking whatever he found in the car, because I think there was like footage and music from the laptop that was stolen.
But we haven't seen any unreleased tracks.
I feel like it would be out there.
No music. He found the music, but why not the visuals? Beyonce, the visuals.
We've been searching.
That's what he went looking for. That's why the music didn't get released. He went in there.
Freddie saying if I were to do it.
he went in there. He was like, music? No, I want the visuals. And that's why we didn't get anything.
Yeah, don't steal from people, but we would love the leak. You know? I'm just saying.
If only. Hey, by the way, this weekend, we've been talking about UT football and everything that's going on there, but doing some research, Texas State has a big game, and I wanted to share it with everyone. This weekend is actually their battle for the paddle. And in case you're wondering what that means, it's Texas State taking on Nichols. Now, here's the thing. This rivalry goes back a long way, and it's actually the first time that they're meeting since 2019. And the reason why it's called the Battle for the Paddle is because it's a paddle trophy. It's really interesting. It's going to be this Saturday, September 20th at 7 p.m. at UFCU Stadium. Right now, based off of the times that they've met, Texas State leads right now 16-15. They won the last few times, so we're hoping that they win again this time. Now, they're not in the same division, which is why they don't run into each other very often, but it's the first time that they met since 2019. So Texas State, we're rooting for you for the battle for the paddle, and hopefully we can see you take it again this time. All right, high temperatures for today, 95 degrees. As we get into Bastrop, 97 degrees San Marcos, in case you're prepping for the battle for the paddle, 96 degrees there, 91 in Blanco, 89 degrees in Fredericksburg. As we look at satellite and radar at this point, a few clouds have strolled in, but again, other than that, still mostly sunny skies out there, and that's helping take our temperatures up a bit more. Now, if you're looking for rainfall, you got to go all the way into deep South Texas to even find any rainfall, most of it around Kingsville and south. As we play this out throughout the rest of the day today, we'll get a few more clouds, get a little bit of a spotty shower or two, and that's pretty much it. And the same thing for Thursday. We do it all over again. Start off with a little bit of cloud coverage early in the day with mostly sunny skies, get in the afternoon, get some of that daytime heating in, get a few pockets of showers, and then it's pretty much it. Now, this model is kind of cooking up those models as far as how much rainfall we could get. I don't think we're going to get as much as what it's saying, but we'll get a few isolated spots here and there. Now, temperatures are expected to stay around 95 to 96 and then drop as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Remember, Monday, the first day of fall, and that's because of that trough that's going to be pushing in. That'll allow for us to see at least a few showers kind of pick up. Sunday night going into Monday, that'll be our first chance of rainfall, and then Monday into Tuesday, a better chance of rainfall there overall. We are watching the tropics. I just looked up some of the latest numbers here. We have one area, well, now a second area of interest that popped up, but we have pretty much all of this kind of building up. This one, 20% chance of it developing, and then these numbers have actually been updated for the Eastern Pacific. That one, a 90% chance of it developing over the next 7 days. And then, of course, we have Gabrielle. Those numbers pretty much holding steady, moving right now northwest, and it'll start to curve just a bit up to the north. As we look at your 7-day forecast, keeping us at around 95 to 96 over the weekend, and then the first day of fall, the chance of rain. We'll have your first Warning Weather University coming up after the break.
Look at what you can watch on KXAN Plus, our free streaming app, at 1:30 this afternoon. It is Tracking the Tropics. Then later tonight at 8 o'clock, it's First Warning with Chief Meteorologist Nick Bannon and Border Report at 8:30. Getting you in the holiday spirit before we wrap up our show, kids can now join the annual Zilker Holiday Tree Art Contest. Each year, young artists can submit their drawings for a chance to light the Zilker tree. These are some pictures from last year's winners. Special recognition for some of the top artists will also happen at the tree lighting ceremony. Submissions are open now until November 1st, so get to drawing, kids, and submit those as soon as you can.
Those are so sweet.
I know, I love it.
And then hopefully writing the letter to Santa. You know, it's only 99 days away. Santa's already
He's always got the countdown clock
just ready like that. That was so fast.
Santa is prepping for Christmas already.
That's true.
I've sent my list to Santa, and I can't say it out loud. I don't
I
want
was
to
going
spoil
to say it.
You're
No,
so
no.
on it.
I am. But
I haven't even gotten the Halloween decorations out yet.
Oh, no, the Christmas tree's already up in the house. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, my God. I literally was about to say it. What? Yeah.
No, but as soon as Halloween is done and the Halloween decorations are down, the Christmas lights are up.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it
They
works.
go out, that goes in.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, First Warning Weather University, let's go and take a look at that right now. Autumn pollen.
Boo.
I know, people are not excited about some of these. Pigweed, ragweed, fall elm, marsh elder. You can see that those are going to be the main things that we're going to open up, or we're going to see here. Most plants open pollen sacs at around 4 to 6 a.m., so just keep that in mind. And then no pollen is released if humidity is above 80%. So just keep all of that, in that noggin as the first day of fall approaches in just a couple of days. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast, keeping us in the mid-90s out there, 95 to 96 degrees. And Rich and I were looking at each other, talking to each other about triple-digit days. I think we're done. Rich, do you think we're done with triple-digit days? We're done. Rich says we're done. It's out of here. Take it to the curb.
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because that first day of fall, bring it on.
Yeah.
This is my peak season. I love it. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us here this afternoon. We'll see you back here in about 20 minutes for another update. Enjoy your day. Take care.